Rahmat woke up early, just as he always had. His bones ached now when he stood, his steps were slow, and the silence of the house pressed against his ears, but still he moved toward the kitchen. The sun had not fully risen yet. A faint golden light spilled through the window, and he could see dust particles dancing in the air. The kettle waited on the stove, and beside it lay 2 cups. He picked them up carefully, one in each hand. His fingers shook slightly, but he managed to place them down without spilling. He poured the water, added the tea leaves, stirred slowly, and whispered under his breath, "Don't worry, Sakina. Your tea is almost ready." He set 1 cup on the table where the chair opposite him remained empty. The chair had belonged to his wife for more than 50 years. Now no one sat in it, but every morning, Rahmat placed her cup of tea there as if she might appear any second, smile at him, and reach for it. He lowered himself into his own chair and took a slow sip. His eyes fell on the other cup. Steam curled upward, fading into the air. For him, it was not just steam, it was her presence, fragile yet comforting. It had been 3 years since Sakina passed away. She had been his wife, his friend, his companion through poverty and prosperity, through laughter and loss. They had met when they were young, when Rahmat was a struggling school teacher earning little, and she was a shy girl with bright eyes and a smile that lit up his world. Their first home had been a single room with cracked walls and a leaking roof. On rainy nights, they would place pots under the drips and laugh together at their own helplessness. "We live in a palace," Sakina used to say, and Rahmat would shake his head, wondering how she could find joy in so little. But that was her gift. She made every hardship seem small with her kindness and her laughter. Now, in this same house, Rahmat sat surrounded by silence. The children had grown up and moved away. They visited when they could, but they had jobs, families, and busy lives. His daughter begged him often, "Abba, come live with us. You should not be alone." But Rahmat always refused. How could he leave this house? Every corner carried Sakina's memory. Her shawl still hung in the closet, her favorite bangles lay in the drawer, and her perfume lingered faintly in the folds of her scarf. To leave this place would feel like leaving her behind, and that he could never do. There was one more reason too. A letter. The last letter she had written to him before she passed away. She had hidden it in the drawer of her wooden chest, folded neatly. After the funeral, his daughter had found it and placed it in his trembling hands. Since then, Rahmat had kept it with him always, tucked inside his pocket like a prayer. At night, when loneliness was strongest, he took it out and read it, tracing the letters with his fingers as though he could feel the warmth of her hand. The letter said, "Rahmat, my love, if you are reading this, I am no longer sitting beside you. Do not grieve too much. I had a beautiful life because of you. You gave me laughter, a home, and children who carry our love forward. Promise me one thing. Every morning, make tea. Place 1 cup for me. Pretend I am there, because I will be. Not in body, but in every memory, in every laugh, in every prayer. Take care of yourself, for I cannot rest even in heaven if I know you are lonely." Those words had become his daily ritual. He brewed tea not because he was thirsty, but because she had asked him to. And when he placed the 2nd cup on the table, it was not for an empty chair, it was for her. It was his way of keeping her alive. Sometimes, when he sat in silence, memories came like waves. He would see her standing in the kitchen, rolling dough for bread while humming softly. He would see her scolding him when he forgot to bring groceries, then laughing immediately because she could never stay angry. He remembered the nights when they had nothing to eat but half a loaf of bread, yet she would tear it into 2 and say, "See. It is enough for us." He remembered the birth of their first son, the way she had cried holding him, whispering, "Rahmat, our love has turned into life." Time had moved so quickly. The children grew, the house expanded, they bought furniture, they grew older. Wrinkles lined their faces, but love never left their eyes. And then one day, sickness came. Rahmat remembered the hospital, the smell of medicine, the white sheets. He remembered her holding his hand and saying, "Do not cry. I am only going ahead. You will join me one day." He had begged her, "Stay with me, Sakina. I cannot live without you." She had smiled gently, her eyes shining with both love and pain. "Yes, you can," she whispered. "You must. For me." The day she left, the world seemed to stop. The house felt darker, smaller. Even the air seemed heavy. He had thought he would die of grief. But then he found the letter, and with it, a reason to keep breathing. He could not refuse her last request. His neighbors sometimes looked at him with pity. The poor man is trapped in the past, they whispered. He should move on. But Rahmat did not care. To him, Sakina was not the past. She was still his present. She lived in every morning cup of tea, in every whispered conversation he had with her photograph, in every dream that visited him at night. One evening, as the sun set over the fields outside, Rahmat sat with his grandson. The boy, only 12, asked curiously, "Dada, why do you put tea for Daddy when she isn't here?" Rahmat smiled, his eyes moist. "She is here," he said softly. "You just cannot see her the way I do." The boy frowned, confused. "But how?" Rahmat placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "When you love someone truly, they never leave. Their body may be gone, but their love stays. I keep her alive by remembering her. Every cup of tea is my way of saying, I have not forgotten." That night, after his grandson had gone, Rahmat sat alone again. He opened the letter, read it once more, and whispered, "I kept my promise, Sakina. I make your tea every morning." A tear rolled down his cheek, but there was a faint smile too. In his heart, he felt she was listening, that somewhere beyond the veil of life and death, she was smiling back. The years continued like that. Each morning, 2 cups of tea. Each night, 1 letter. His body grew weaker, his steps slower, but his ritual never changed. Until one morning, when Rahmat did not rise. The kettle sat untouched, the cups still empty. His daughter found him in his chair, eyes closed, the letter resting in his hand, and a gentle peace on his face. For the first time in 3 years, there was no tea on the table. Perhaps, at last, he had gone to join the one for whom he brewed it every morning. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere unseen, a woman with bright eyes and a radiant smile welcomed him with a cup of tea in her hand, saying, "You kept your promise, Rahmat. Now drink with me again."